Higgins. Ishik, if you did not hear, just passed the 1,000-point mark on Saturday night, is at 1,002 points, just the 13th player in Whitman College history to reach the 1,000-point mark in his career. So Whitworth starts off moving the ball. Cross pick, down pick in the interior. Behil getting in the lane, their leading scorer. Hits a jumper to open up the scoring. Whitman playing some man-to-man, which is their trademark. They'll show some zone here and there. Whitworth playing man-to-man. I've not seen a ton of zone from Whitworth over the years, although I believe, if I remember right, in one of the games last year, they played some zone that really disrupted Whitman late in the game. Ball deflected. Behil rips it away. Higgins on the floor. Nyquist able to dig it out. So first turnover there for the Blues on their first possession. Looney will try a three out of the corner, in and out. Xavier Santana inserted in the starting lineup here recently. Actually, I think tonight is his first start. George Lazarevic seems to still be out for the Blues. Had an ankle injury last weekend. Oh, they called Desi for the travel. So 2 early turnovers for the Blues. It looks like Sharp Gerkberg sat out Saturday night, I believe, with a foot injury. He seems to be in uniform tonight. We'll see if he's available. Back pick action for the Pirates. Nyquist trying to get by. Nyquist on Santana. Nyquist will draw the foul. That'll be Santana's team first. Whitworth basketball with a fresh 20 on the shot clock on the right baseline. 2-0 lead, 18:43 to go, first half. Behil coming around the screen. Knocks down the 15-footer again. Trying to get his teammates on the bench fired up after 4 quick ones. Sharanitz into Desi. Huge starting lineup for the Pirates. Smallest player on the court for them is 6'3". Ishik with the 3. Got it! Ali F.I. Ishik with a deep 3. Just 29% on the season, but has been shooting it much better as of late. Up to almost 11 points a game. Little pick and roll action. That's number 10, Caden Bateman. Misses the first one. Gets his own rebound, misses the second one. Ball batted around. Sharanitz away with the rebound. His first of the night. Again, leading the conference in rebounding at about 10.5 a game. Whitman trying to get it into Desi. Ishik's going to try another one. In and out. Desi bats it around. Ishik trying to chase down the rebound, but Behil's going to grab it instead. Into Bateman. Bateman with a little turnaround jumper over Sharanitz, off the mark. Santana away with the rebound. Whitworth back in numbers, though. No transition opportunity for the Blues here. Nyquist, a little confusion there, but able to get back to Santana before any issues. Whitman gets it moving here. Sharanitz tries to get in the lane. Ball gets deflected out by Bateman. Whitman already with some subs. Jacob Fotu in for the first time for the Blues. Fotu, 6'6", sophomore out of Auckland, New Zealand. And then also in Mehmet Benner, number 5, 6-foot redshirt sophomore out of Ankara, Turkey. Higgins, that's the guy we were talking about a little bit in the opening. Been shooting it really well, averaging almost 18 a game over his last 4 games. Shooting well over 50%. 56%. He's 19 for 34 from 3. Whitworth with a bad foul there, fouling Fotu with 1 on the shot clock. That'll be the first on Colton Looney, 6'6", senior out of Vancouver, Washington. And that sends Fotu to the line. Again, Fotu averaging 13 points a game, shooting 65% from the line. First in the conference in field goal percentage at 52%. Misses the first free throw, though. As I was saying, really tall starting lineup for Whitworth. Nyquist at 6'3", Looney at 6'6", and then Bateman, Behil, and Edwards all at 6'7". So pretty good length for Whitworth. Fotu gets 1 out of 2, and we're tied at 4. Behil with the mishandle. Benner, nice job to loses his balance, goes down to one knee, back up in time to be able to guard Nyquist. Nyquist gets in the lane, little runner off the mark. Ball batted around, though. It's going to be Edwards that tracks it down. Fotu ends up on Nyquist. That's a bit of a mismatch. Nyquist definitely travels. Instead, they get Behil. I think that's a little bit of a makeup call because I'm not sure Behil traveled, but they had missed the one on Nyquist. 0 Kobe Parlin in for the Pirates. 6'2 junior out of Longview, Washington. Transfer in from Central. Out of Mark Morris High School. And of course, there's that. The officials making the, again, it was interesting. The officials are really touchy about untucked jersey in the men's game. And then we saw Saturday night against in the women's game, the Willamette Bearcats basically played the entire game with their jersey out, all of their players. So it was almost like a uniform statement by them. So I found that interesting. It has no effect on the game whatsoever, which is why I think it's a dumb rule, but just one of those things that is stuck in my brain is I need to ask somebody a question as to why that's that way. Benner there with the foul. His first, team second. Sarp Garkberg in for the first time for the Blues. Coach Lamanna upset with Milos about something, some type of offensive movement didn't seem to indicate something about just cutting. Higgins battling Looney hard. Looney able to get the mishandle back, though, and turn around and lay it in. Whitworth back up 2. Kirkbrook into the front court. Brush screen foul. And that'll take us to our first media timeout after the foul on Parlin into the front court. Guarded by Benner, so it's Parlin, Looney, Edwards with the ball. Number 14, Ben Freed in for the first time. And Behil was back in. Whitman with Ishik guarding the ball. Fotu showing on the screen. That's Girkberg guarding Looney. Higgins on the rebound with Freed. Might get called for the foul. And then Jacob Fotu, number 42. Fouls on 30. Ken Higgins, his first. Again, 6'3 sophomore out of Walla Walla, Washington. And that'll send Ben Freed to the line, a 6'1 sophomore out of Liberty Lake, Washington. Went to West Valley Spokane High School. Freed off the mark on the first one. 44% from the line on the year, so it might have been a good foul there by Higgins. Milos Sharanitz checks back in for Whitman. Freed with one more here. Sharanitz trying to change spots here. Figure out who's boxing out who. Freed really short on the second one. Ishik into the front court, finds Benner, right back to Ishik. Ishik with the little pull-up. That's short. They're going to say it was out off of, I believe, Edwards' leg. So we have Whitman basketball, 19 on the shot clock on the left baseline. Ali F.I. Ishik to inbound it. Officials confer about a reset on the shot clock, but no reset because it didn't hit the rim. Into Fotu, back to Ishik. Ooh, a little surprised Ishik didn't get a double dribble there. Sharanitz off the mark. Looney away with the rebound. Again, there's that length of Whitworth kind of affecting Whitman shooters. Looney out of the corner. Got it. Colton Looney, third on the team in scoring at 11.6 per game. 8th in three-point field goal percentage. And I believe in the top 10 in terms of three-point makes, too. Milos is going to try a three out of the corner. Off the mark. Behil away with it. 9-4 lead for Whitworth. Ahead to Edwards. Looking for Looney again. Looney might run back out to the three-point line and try another one. Sharanitz gets to him in time. Freed. That's going to be 2 on Benner. Tried to jump in and take the charge, so Bernard Desi back in for Sarp. Kirkberg. So Whitman goes big here. This is probably Whitman's biggest lineup with Lazarevic out. Again, Lazarevic at 6'6". Usually adds a bunch of length for Whitman at the wing, but with him being out, Whitman's a little bit smaller. So go to Fotu and Desi. You don't see them on the court together very often, but against the bigger lineup. Ball batter. Benner's got to be careful. Benner's already got 2. Reaching in from behind there after the great deflection initially, but as he was trying to get the tie up, had his arm wrapped around the Whitworth player, so but was an alternating possession. So after Whitworth winning the tip, Whitman gets the first alternate possession at the 4:13 mark of the first half. Subs in for Whitworth. I'll get them to you as soon as I can see them. So it's Parlin, number 12, Dylan Westermeyer in for the first time. 14 is Freed. This is where Whitman had some issues the other day. Freed with the foul there. First on him, second team foul. Ken Higgins will check back in for Fotu. So for Whitworth, it's Parlin, Westermeyer, Freed, number 10, Caden Bateman back in, as well as Behil. And for Whitman, it's Higgins, Desi, Benner, Ishik, and Milos Sharanitz. Ishik with the ball. 6'4 junior out of Bursa, Turkey. Whitman gets the ball moving here, tries to get some cutters going. Finds Desi in the high post. Nice back cut by Sharanitz. Gets hit by Parlin, but no call. Behil away with another rebound. Whitworth doing a good job on the glass early. Nice deflection by Benner, but right into the hands of Caden Bateman. Bateman's got his first bucket. Whitworth with the 11-4 lead here early on. Whitworth coming with the trap. Benner's going to try the deep 3. Got it. Mehmet Benner with his first bucket of the night. He's a 43% three-point shooter on the season, which again I believe is only second on the team to Higgins. Behil down the lane. Ishik chasing him. Ishik's too late. So if Benner can hit a couple threes for Whitman, that would be a nice little added offensive punch. Benner's averaging under 5 points a game on the season, so again, if he could ends up hitting a couple, that would be a big lift for the Blues. Desi in the lane. He's going to try to go up over Bateman. Bateman with a good contest. Ball batted around, though. Desi able to get it back out to Benner. Benner's going to try another one. Off the mark. Sharanitz battling for the rebound. Nice play by Behil to flip it over his head to Parlin. Parlin into the front court's going to attack Desi. Desi does a good job of contesting, but Bateman initially gets the rebound. Ball batted around. It's out to Freed. Behil's going to up fake, step through, and try the 3. In and out. Desi's trying to save it to Higgins. Nice job there. Oh, Higgins with a little bit of a mishandle. Able to calm it down here. Whitman able to get set up. Desi's going to try the 3 in transition. Off the mark. Whitworth doing a good job of cleaning up the glass right now. Now an 11-5 advantage on the glass. Looks like Fotu, Garkberg, and Julian Witt, 6'4 sophomore out of Nevada City, California, will come in the next time for the Blues. Westermeyer, the lefty, off from 3. Coach Lamano wants a 30-second timeout. Their team just 3 for the Blues and 2 for the Pirates. So Whitman with Benner, Witt, Garkberg, Higgins, and Fotu. Whitworth with Nyquist back in, Bateman, Westermeyer, number 20, Brian Caldera in for the first time. And that's Fotu with a 3. He shoots 37% from out there, so really efficient. So again, who did I miss? Oh, Behil was the last one. Don't want to miss him. He's already got 6 and is Whitworth's leading scorer. Good deflection there by Higgins. Out to Westermeyer. The lefty will try the 3 again. Way long this time. So has missed 2 from that same spot. And Whitman down 4 has the ball. Cross screen action, or a little cross cut action again out of that high post. Benner's wide open. Gets in the lane with the floater. Overplay there, I believe it was by Westermeyer. Let Benner get easily to the rim. Whitworth players unable to recover. Whitman closes the lead to 2. Deep 2-point jumper. Somehow goes in. Caldera gets quite the bounce there. The 6'3 grad senior from Spokane, Washington. Higgins with a good ball fake there. Whitman really trying to swing the ball quickly, working off that high post, maybe having Fotu step out. Off the mark this time, Behil with another rebound. I believe that's 4 or 5 for him. So Behil having a good night, scoring the ball and on the glass. His 4th rebound, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Mishandle there, though. Nyquist able to track it down. Fotu shows quickly. They get it back to Bateman, Julian Whitgarden, Behil. Behil with a little step back, got it. Again, Behil, 6'7" senior out of Camas, Washington. Garkberg hits Fotu, looks for the back cut. Kicked there by, I believe it was by Bateman. Looney and Edwards are coming back in for Whitworth. Ishik and Desi back in for the Blues. It'll be Blues basketball, 22 on the shot clock. Again, on a kicked ball, it's a reset to 20 in the front court unless the clock still has over 20 on it, which it did in this case, 22, so it stays at 22. Again, you get the higher of the two. Higgins with the little back screen pops out. His defender gets hung up just off the mark, though. Ishik tries to bat it away, but Caldera is going to come away with it. Higgins trying to get his first bucket of the night there. Gets switched on to Behil, a little bit of a mismatch. He's going to have to battle down there. Caldera for a 3 out of the corner, or out of the wing. Hits it, nice little skip pass on the backside there by Nyquist to find Caldera, and the lead's up to 9. So a quick little 7-0 run here for the Pirates after Whitman got it back to 11-13. Desi with the mishandle. Ishik looking to go at Edwards here. Edwards has been one of the conference leaders in block shots pretty much his entire career. Ishik, nice left-handed lay-in, unable to finish. Behil with another rebound. Edwards just with 9 block shots this year. I feel like he's been a guy over his career that's averaged almost 2 a game. Off the mark here by the Pirates. Whitman away with the ball. Looking to get it into Desi. That come together screen where one player will come to the ball, one player will cut to the basket. Whitman gets a lot of back cuts out of that. Garkberg down the lane. Whitworth wanted to travel. Ishik off the mark. Caldera with the nice box out. Again, the hard part about that is it's a stride stop, so it all comes down to whether or not the offensive player drags his foot. If the offensive player doesn't drag his foot, it's not a travel there. Fouls, and I think it's going to be called on Julian Witt there for the bump. Yep. Witt's first, team 5th now. No, team 6th. Nate Crone, 6'4", sophomore out of Renton, Washington, in for the first time for Whitworth. Jacob Fotu about to check back in. Milos Sharanec just checked back in. Milos, again, 6'4", sophomore out of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Into Edwards. Edwards will look to go to work on Fotu. Tries to step through. Good job by Fotu. Nice help by Milos. Whitman's a little out of sorts on the rotation, though. Nyquist gets open. Looked like maybe one too many players rotated there. Didn't necessarily need to, and they didn't get to that last rotation. Higgins will look at the 3, gets in the lane. Nice kick out to Milos. Milos will drive in, spin back, but Nyquist with nice help. Garkberg gets in the lane. Nice penetrate kick out to Fotu. Fotu off the mark. Sarp unable to save it inbounds, and it ends up being Whitworth basketball. And with a 20, Crone and Behil. Whitman with Benner on the ball. Garkberg, Fotu, Higgins, and Ishik round out the Blues lineup. Little double high post action. Nice job by Garkberg to jump that. Looked like Benner was beat on the back pick for Nyquist, but Garkberg comes off of his guy, able to grab that. Ooh, maybe had Ishik on the curl cut there. Handoff maybe coming. Nope, Fotu's just going to back down, go to work. Gets the double, kicks it out, finds Benner. Benner already hit one, got his second. Again, Whitworth really not leaving Higgins much with as well as Higgins has shot the ball lately, but Benner is a very capable shooter as well. Nyquist with the deep 2. Foot was still on the line with the step back. 26-14, 6:31 to go. Trying to get Fotu in the post. Again, some good penetrate kicks to action from Whitman, but haven't got any of the usual kind of cuts that they get. Fotu, tough little jump hook. Probably forced that one a little bit. There's Crone getting in the lane, exploring. Finding Edwards. Edwards is going to go to work on Fotu. Come back to the right hand. Got the little right-handed jump hook for Ty Edwards. See if Whitman can put together a little run here. Find a couple of open looks for Higgins or maybe Benner. Ishik thought about the three. He's going to get in the lane instead. Ishik thought he got fouled and said they're going to say out off of Ishik's foot after the deflection, I believe, by Crone. Desi for the Blues. Crone, Nyquist, Parlin, Behil, and Bateman for the Pirates. Looks like Whitman maybe trying to get Benner loose since he's had the hot hand. Garkberg around to Higgins. Higgins will try the three off the mark. Sharanitz called for the foul. Say a push in the back, just the first on Milos. But again, that's going to be 17 fouls. And that'll lead to free throws because that's not a player control foul. Efi Ishik in for Milos. Milos just having a little conversation with the official about the call there. So 2 here for, or 1 and 1 here for Crone. Again, Crone, we already talked about, 6'4" sophomore out of Renton, Washington. Doesn't do a ton of scoring for the Pirates, just 4 points a game in about 11 minutes. 82% free throw shooter on the season, though. Goes 1 for 2. Ishik away with the rebound. Sarp trying to come off, use that high post. Benner maybe thinking about the step back three. Changes his mind. Trying to get it into Desi. Kick there by Nyquist. That should be a kick by Nyquist and a reset. $12 on the shot clock here. I don't know why that's not a reset. That was clearly a kick. Sarp to take it out. Edwards back in for the Blues. Just 12 on the shot clock now, though. No reset after a kick ball, which I'm not really sure about. Desi coming down the middle, unable to get it into Ishik. Ishik kind of stuck, shoots a little jumper, ball batted around, and Crone away with the rebound. Desi was trying to go over the top of Parlin. Parlin getting downhill, gets in the lane, unable to finish, ball batted around again. Desi with the rebound, ahead to Benner. Benner's pushing it. Garkberg down the lane. Great opportunity, but off the mark. Parlin ahead with the rebound, trying to throw it ahead to Behil, who just came back in, but picked off, I believe, by Benner. Might have been Sarp there. Come together screen, blown up by the Pirates. Garkberg down the lane again. Parlin tries to take the charge. Crone gets out in the passing lane. Able to finish over Ishik. 30-second timeout for Coach Toblonski. Caldera is going to come back in. We'll stay with you here because it's just a 30. First timeout called by the Pirates. 15 here. Been a little tonight. It's just been unable to knock down a shot. Just 6 for 25 right now for Whitman. So Whitworth 14 for 29, 48%. Whitman 6 for 25, 24%. Both teams with 4 threes though. Whitworth's been playing man-to-man the whole time. Again, their length really seems to be bothering Whitman a little bit. Fotu, maybe had it if he took a look there. Higgins trying to get in the lane, back to Fotu. Fotu's going to go to work on Behil. Nice little jump hook, but off the mark. Sharanitz unable to dig it out of there. Instead, Crone. Benner jumps the outlet pass, and they're saying Benner tipped it out. So it's Benner, Sharanitz, Garkberg, Fotu, and Higgins. For the Blues, Nyquist with the ball, getting in the lane, looking for Behil in the corner. Got it with Edwards, Caldera, and Crone. So Whitworth got the Blues doubled up right now, 36-18. Whitman needs to find something to get themselves going here. Fotu in the lane against Edwards. Kicks it out to Benner. Benner back to Fotu. Fotu trying to go to work on Edwards. Edwards, pretty good post defender, though. Fotu gets stuck, has to throw it out off of Edwards. So 8 on the shot clock, 1:10 to go. Again, Edwards has always been known for his defense, always been a very good defender for Whitworth. Whitman trying to get Higgins open here. Higgins gets loose, tries the three, got it. There we go. See if Whitman can get Higgins loose for a couple of things here, a couple of jumpers here late. Higgins now 1 for 3. That's his first bucket of the night. Under a minute to go. Nyquist getting down the lane, kicking opposite to Crone. Crone's going to give it a shot. Off the mark. Kirkberg away with the rebound. Whip to the table to check back in. Not sure who he's coming in for. Nice back cut by Sharanitz. Sharanitz probably gets hit there by Crone, but nothing doing. Sharanitz, though, with the lay-in. So a little 5-0 run here for Whitman right when they needed it. See if they can get one more stop. We're about 9 seconds difference between game clock and shot clock. So Whitman will get one more possession here. See if they can get a stop first. Nyquist in on Benner. A little late with the call. Benner with his third. So that's a big one. So Nyquist not only gets a chance for the three-point play, but picks up a third foul on Benner. Not really. So Nyquist to the line, second leading scorer for Whitworth, 14 points a game. Again, Benner on the court with 3. Garkberg to inbound, 22 seconds left. Freed and Westermeyer back in for the Pirates. So Whitman with the ball, shot clock off, 18 seconds. Behil, Garkberg into Fotu. Benner trying to back cut, maybe Freed. Benner comes off, gets in the lane, pull-up jumper, got it. So Benner with 11. Ty and Behil for leading honors. Westermeyer with the runner. As we're about to get underway for the second half, Benner, 3 personal fouls, so Benner's got to be smart here. Pretty physical defender, guarding a pretty good offensive player in Nyquist. Garkberg makes it tough for Behil. Ball batted around. We're going to stay here. Higgins, they say, held the arm of, I believe it was Colton Looney, as he was going for the rebound. So Higgins, second, team first for the second half, fresh 20 for the Pirates. They'll get it moving again. Edwards in the high. Edwards had some success against Fotu, backing him down. Nyquist going to step behind that screen off the mark. Garkberg battling with Behil. Behil shoots a little fadeaway over the top. Gets the shooter's bounce. Again, a little bit of a height mismatch. Behil at 6'7". Sarp listed only at 6'4". Benner behind the screen. Off the mark long, but Fotu with the rebound. He goes right back up off the mark. Behil away with it. Over the top to Bateman. Bateman with Benner back. No foul called. Benner again with those 3 fouls. Got to be careful. Ball batted around. Sharanitz away with it. And they're going to call a travel in the backcourt on Sharanitz. Interesting. I didn't necessarily see it, but I wasn't really looking that close. So Ali F.I. back in for Sharanitz. I think Coach Lamanna talking to Milos about making sure you secure the ball. You just need the ball secured. You don't need to have the run out there. Fotu trying to save it. On the rebound to Benner. Ball gets tipped by Whitworth, and it'll be Whitman basketball. Whitman, again, that really good look by Benner on the first possession, just unable to knock it down. Out to Ishik. Here's that this is the action we saw Whitman run a lot in the second half against, I think it was Pacific. Benner open in the corner, got it. Nice find by Fotu. Benner's player came off, tried to double Fotu real quick. Fotu able to see it kick out. Nyquist getting downhill, going at Benner. Foul, I think, is going to be on Benner. That's going to be 4. 4 on Benner. Nyquist will get a chance for the 4-point play. Xavier Santana, who started the game, he'll come in for Benner. So Benner will go back to the bench for a while here. Nyquist stepping to the line. Nyquist 1 for 1 already from the line. Now with 10 points, trying to make it 11 and complete the 3-point play. Off the mark. Good job by Garkberg to get in there. So Garkberg, Fotu, Ishik, Santana back in. Xavier Santana, the 6'1" first year out of Clarkston, Washington, with Higgins and Garkberg on the weak side. Looney, Nyquist. Oh, nice slip there by Santana. Fotu with another nice pass. 2 assists for Jacob Fotu here early in the second going. So Nyquist, Looney, Edwards, Behil, and Bateman for the Pirates. Whitman trying to be physical on those cuts. Santana got to be careful there. Almost got his hand caught in the cookie jar by Nyquist. Edwards has some success going at Fotu. Good job by Fotu this time to stand him up. Good box out, ball batted around. It's going to be out off of Looney. And so Whitman ball down 13. Good defense there by Fotu to force Edwards into about a 14-foot jump hook. Not necessarily what most coaches want. Most coaches don't want the jump hook from 14. Bateman trying to contest Fotu. Fotu looking to try, maybe get another assist here. Distributing the ball well here in the second half. Garkberg into Fotu, this time with Looney on him. That's a little bit more of a favorable matchup for Fotu. Fotu creates some space. Jump hook, but then Bateman throws it back. Edwards picks up the foul and maybe hurts a shoulder here on the rebound on Ishik. So Edwards with his first. Team first in the second half. Bernard Desi back in for Fotu. Fotu exerted quite a bit of energy there on those last couple possessions. Higgins to pop out, gets it back to Santana. Santana's going to try the 3 off the mark. Bateman with the easy rebound. Behil wants it. Too long of a pass. Behil trying to cut in on Garkberg. A little bit of a mismatch. Behil fade away. Got it. Behil now with 15. Again, 4th leading scorer in the conference, averaging almost 18 a game. Getting going here a little bit to start the second half. Ishik trying to get in the lane. Finding Santana cutting behind. Santana's trying to throw it into Desi. Now it's going to be Higgins' turn to throw it into Desi. Back out to Santana. Santana up fakes, gets in the lane. Back to Desi. Desi, little 15-footer. Off the mark. Nyquist with the rebound. Whitworth getting organized here. Behil wants it on Santana. A little bit of a mismatch. Somebody's going to have to help. Santana, good job pressuring Behil, though. Good job moving his feet. Nyquist gets downhill. Ooh, wow. Kind of snakes through the help side defense there. Whitman, and gets the little left-handed scoop lay-in for Whitworth. Back to 17 is the lead. Sharanitz at the table ready to check back in. Nice back cut by Higgins, but Bateman, good job of switching. Bateman's length able to stop Higgins from getting the shot there. Good Garkberg trying to get in. Unable to get anything going there. Good defense by Behil to just stay grounded and stay in front. Able to clean up the rebound as well. Nyquist trying to go by Santana. They're going to call a foul on Santana. And that'll take us to the media timeout. So Santana picks up his second team to have it stretched out to 13. Coach Lamanna working the officials there on something. Whitman coming out in a zone, so showing that kind of, I think it's a 2-3. Nyquist tries to contest, but Edwards with good patience. Again, we kind of saw Whitman play a lot of that this weekend, and oftentimes there was a player behind the zone that Whitman kind of was unaccounted for, and in that case, that was Edwards. Desi stepped up in the middle to help, and wings aren't pinching. Generally, what you need is wings to pinch the block area as players get the ball in the high post and start to drive, whether that be a guard or a big. Fouls on number 5, Ty Edwards, his second team foul here in the second half. Milos will head to the line, 69.2% on the season. Milos leading Whitman in scoring, 7th in the conference and 1st in the conference in rebounds. He's got 3 now. Kobe Parlin will check back in for Bateman. Milos gets them both. Ishik picks up in the backcourt, shows a little bit of pressure, so now this might be they're showing a 1-3-1, but the only way it'll stay a 1-3-1 is if Ishik stays at the top. Again, what we've been seeing from Whitman is a little bit of kind of in-out action where Ishik will drop into the high, Santana will run out and guard the opposite side. So that's why it's hard to tell if it's a 1-1-3 or a 2-3. See how they switch there? That wouldn't happen necessarily in a 1-3-1. Higgins trying to dig it out of Edwards' hands. Instead, is going to commit the foul. So Higgins now with 3. So a little bit of foul trouble here. Benner with 4, Higgins with 3 for the Blues. Behil steps behind the double and hits it. Santana into the front court, good crossover. He finds Higgins. Higgins tries to answer. Oh, rattles in and out. Santana tries to sneak under Edwards and tip out the rebound, but instead Nyquist is out on the run and finds Looney back behind the defense. Ball batted around. Parlin digs it out, finds Nyquist. So Whitworth with a fresh 20. Looney in the corner. That's a bad guy to leave. Off the mark, though. Sharanitz with the rebound. Looney had already hit a couple out of the corner there in the first half. Little dribble weave action with Ishik. Gets the ball into the high. Sharanitz on Parlin with the nice spin. They're going to call a foul on Whitworth there, I believe, on the shot. It's going to be on Parlin, his first. Team third. That'll send Sharanitz back to the line. Just made a couple free throws. Milos getting himself going from the free throw line. Some subs coming in for Whitman. Sarp, Garkberg, and Jacob Fotu back in for Higgins and Desi. Sarp, 6'4", first year at Antalya, Turkey. Crone back in, Nate Crone back in, 6'4", sophomore out of Renton, Washington for Whitworth. Mueller short on the second one, ball batted around, Parlin away with it. So 19-point Whitworth lead, 13:50 remains. Ooh, Ishik almost tips it. Santana kind of runs into Parlin a little bit. Skipping to Nyquist in the corner. Nyquist is going to try to penetrate, finds Parlin on the weak side. Sharanitz tries to contest, but too late. What was it? I think it was 2 years ago, so I think it was 2024. Championship game here. Whitworth made something like 11 straight threes in the second half against Whitman. It was a tight first half game, really good game, and then just ended up really stretching out because Whitworth just got unbelievably hot. Behil with the foul on the drive by Ishik. That'll be Behil's first, team fourth. Ishik headed to the line, 70.5% from the free throw line on the year. Ishik, the 6'4" junior out of Bursa, Turkey. Stepping to the line for 2. Down 22. Gotta make some type of run here. at this point, even if you could have it down to 14 or 15 by the 10-minute mark, you'd feel a lot better about the way things are going. 22. It'd be tough to make up 22 in less than 10 minutes if you don't start to reel things back in here pretty quick. Whitman again, kind of that 1-3-1, three-quarter court pressure. So this looks like a 1-3-1 because now Ishik's just staying at the top, not rotating. Find Behil in the corner, but Edwards able to rebound. Hardest thing about the 1-3-1 is rebounding the basketball. Really hard to rebound out of a 1-3-1. Fotu guarding Edwards. Whitman had the rebound, but instead Behil finds it. Short though, batted around again. This time it's Santana able to get away with it. Good job by Santana to dig out that second rebound. Ishik trying to look at Fotu. Instead, is going to drive by Behil. A little too hard on the lay-in. Behil out, able to get the rebound. Behil's closing in on a double-double. Crone's going to drive in. Santana maybe had a chance to take the charge and instead kind of bails out and goes for the reach. Gets called for the foul. That is Behil, and he's got a double-double. 15 and 10 for Behil. So Santana with his third. Fifth team foul. That'll send Crone to the line. Crone, again, 82% on the season coming in. Westermeyer, Bateman, and Free back in. So it looks like starters back in for the Pirates. 63-40 as the Pirates try to extend this and kind of put it away a little bit. Whitman making it feel a little bit like they might make a little run here. 1 for 2 at the line by Sharainitz. A little full court pressure here by Whitman. Broken pretty easily by the Pirates. See if a trap will follow. No, Behil's just going to try the three. Got it. So Behil now with 21. Coach Lamano will go back to Mehmet Benner. Remember, Benner's been on the bench since about the 18-minute mark with 4 fouls. Had 3 in the first half. Ishik thought about the three. He's going to get in the lane instead into Desi. Desi's trying to find Sharainitz behind the defense, but Whitworth did a good job of collapsing, deflecting the ball. Ishik misses the three. I don't know who the rebound foul is on. Foul is on Milos Sharainitz on the rebound. He's now got 3. 8th team foul, so Ty Edwards headed to the line. Edwards a 70% free throw shooter on the year. 1-1 here. Just the 8th team foul on Whitman. Edwards gets the first. One out of 2 for Edwards. Ishik with the rebound into the front court. Benner and Ishik with a mishandle there. Not really sure what happened there. I was kind of looking over to see what was going on the backside as they were trying to maybe get Benner open. Ishik's going to get the blocking foul on Edwards. That's going to be first one on Ishik. And that'll send Edwards right back to the line. 2 more for Edwards after just going 1 for 2. Edwards, 6'7" senior out of Sumner. Missed the free throw, but the ball ends up going out off of Whitman. Ball got tipped, unable to control it. Kirkberg back in. Whitworth the inbound. Behil thought about it. Goes by Luke Johnson. They're going to call the foul and count it. So Behil back to the line. Johnson with his first personal. 10th team foul, so everything will be 2 shots for the Pirates from here on out. Pirates up 28. Behil trying to make it 29. Behil's got, I think, 24 himself. No, just 23. Trying to make it 24. Whitman 1 rebounder short on the line. That's a little bit of a mistake. Went in anyway, so it didn't really matter. So a 29-point lead, under 9 to go here, second half. Kirkberg into the front court. On ball by Desi, trying to get Desi posted up. Good hand by Bateman there. Kirkberg got it back at the top. Gets in the lane, kicks out to Johnson. Nyquist runs through the gap. Deflects it out of bounds, so it'll be Whitman basketball. 8 on the shot clock, 8:23 remaining. We'll have to go quick now. Benner, gotta go. Shoot the pull-up off the glass. Knocked down, no foul called. Bateman away with the rebound. Whitworth into the front court, kind of being patient. Bateman on Benner, over the Benner with the mismatch. That'll be Benner's 5th, so he's done. That'll send Bateman to the line for Whitworth. Xavier Santana will check back in. Remember, Santana's got 3. Bateman just 50% from the line on the year, misses the first. Number 30, Carson Talbert, in for the first time tonight for the Pirates. Talbert, 6'7" senior out of Maple Valley, Washington. It's a Houma High School. Bateman 1 for 2. And the lead's at 30 for the first time tonight. Again, Whitman just really has had a hard time getting anything. There's a good looking shot from Whit, but off the mark. That's kind of what it's been tonight. Even when they create good looks with good offensive movement, just really been off the mark. Nyquist getting in the lane on Johnson. That's Talbert. Talbert trying to step through, gets back to the right-handed jump hook, off the mark. Desi tips it. They're going to say out off of Desi, and we'll go to the under 8 media. Looks like man-to-man. Looking probably for Behil off of some type of maybe back pick, cross pick. There's the back pick. There's the cross pick. Talbert slipping to the basket on Whit. He'll get the left-handed lay-in. So that's the danger of a shooter, a really good scorer running off of a down pick at 15 feet, is that gives the big a chance to slip that if the big defender helps. Nyquist jumps to the passing lane, steals it from Desi, and he'll get the lay-in in transition. Looks like Caldera ready to check back in for Whitworth. Desi trying to distribute. Luke Johnson's going to try the 3. Off the mark. Ball batted around. Talbert with the rebound. Up to Looney. Looney with another corner 3. Off the mark. Desi battling with Bateman. Bateman able to tip it away from Desi, but Santana's there to pick it up. Santana gets in the lane. Finds Johnson cutting to the basket. Johnson goes up. He's going to get fouled. Calls on Bateman, his first. Team 8, so everybody's shooting free throws here the last 6:49. Johnson headed to the line. Johnson only averaging 2 points a game on the season. Knocks down the first. That's just his 3rd and 4th free throw of the year. He's 1 for 2. So Caldera back in, Crone back in, Parlin back in, all for the Pirates. Pirates might start emptying the bench here, up 33. My mind keeps having some wishful thinking here. Johnson trying to knock down the second one. Gets them both. Whitman kind of had shown some full court pressure, but is kind of out of it at this point. Back to man-to-man in the half court. I think just working on their man-to-man. There's that brush screen again. reverse bush screen. This time it was a back pick. So Crone, I believe, with the foul. His second. That's a player control foul, so that's why it's no shooting foul. Any type of offensive foul that happens in the motion of play that's not a rebounding foul ends up being player control. Garkberg down the lane, over the top of Talbert. Sarp with 5 now. Parlin using the screen. Trying to get in the lane. Oh, carry. Parlin trying to go over the top of Witt. Witt doing a good job walling it up. Underhand pass to Talbert. 10 on the shot clock still somehow. Seems like a really long possession. Talbert in the lane, and they're going to call the foul on Johnson. Over a little bit late in the rotation. Seemed like the longest possession there. Fouls on Luke Johnson, his second. Talbert headed to the line. Again, Talbert, senior out of Maple Valley, Washington, misses the first. 50% free throw shooter on the year, now just 2 of 5. Westermeyer checking back in for Behil.